पुराणों की कथाएं हर श्लोक में प्रकाश, शिव का तांडव ब्रह्मांड का वास, गंगा की धारा गुरु का उपदेश, नित्यानंद का प्रेम सब कुछ विशेष। हर महादेव गूंजे गगन, शिव की शक्ति अद्भुत है अगन, भक्ति का सागर लहरों का नाद, गुरु की कृपा से मिटे हर विवाद, गुरु की कृपा से मिटे हर विवाद। ओम नमः शिवाय जपते हैं बल, शिव की लीला अनोखा है खेल, मीनाक्षी संग दिव्यता की झलक, गुरु के संग जग सारा चमक। पुराणों की कथाएं हर श्लोक में प्रकाश, शिव का तांडव ब्रह्मांड वास, गंगा की धारा गुरु का उपदेश, नित्यानंद का प्रेम सब कुछ विशेष। हर हर महादेव गूंजे ये गगन, शिव की शक्ति अद्भुत है अगन, भक्ति का सागर लहरों का नाद, गुरु की कृपा से मिटे हर विवाद, शिव की त्रिनेत्र ज्ञान का दीप, मीनाक्षी की मूर्त भक्ति का संगीत, गुरु की शिक्षा जीवन का प्रकाश, नित्यानंद का नाम सच्चाई का आकाश। ओम नमः
Nithyanandam, welcome to all those of you who are joining us for today's live Nithyananda Yoga session. Please do come get settled down on your mat as we get started by chanting the Sadguru Vandana, invoking the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, to manifest through us as we get into Nithyananda Yoga today. Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Tvatvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Sadgurum Namami. The next step of Nithyananda Yoga is the chanting of the Shiva Mula Mantra Japa, invoking the presence of Paramashiva directly here as we get into Nithyananda Yoga today. For the Shiva Mula Mantra, we will be chanting it completely internally within our inner space. But you can chant it completely internally without verbalizing it, but we will be chanting externally so that it's easy for each of you to follow along. Let's now chant the Shiva Mula Mantra 11 times.
Om Ham Namaha. Om Ham Shivaya 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 Namaha.
The next step of Nithyananda Yoga we will be entering into is the Tattvachmana, the ritualistic cleansing of the body and mind to make yourself a pure vessel ready to receive Paramashiva. For this, you will need the Panchapatra Manudharani, the traditional cup and spoon filled with fresh water. Take an udharani of water and place it in the center of your palm, bringing your palm in the Gokarna Mudra, bending the index finger and slightly cupping your palm. Then, At the end of each of these following mantras, sip the water through the base of your palm. Om Atma-tattvam shodhayami svadha. Om Vidya-tattvam shodhayami svadha. Om Shiva-tattvam shodhayami svadha. Wash your hand with the water from the Panchapatal. With the base of the right hand thumb, wipe your upper and lower lip from right to left, along with the following mantra. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hand. With the tips of the index, middle, and ring finger joined together, touch above your upper lip and below your lower lip. Again, wash your hand. With the tip of the right hand thumb and index finger joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the right hand, ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear, and left ear. Again, wash your hand. Now, with the base of the right hand thumb and little finger joined together, touch your navel center, right chest, and left chest. With all the fingers of your right hand joined together, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and your heart center. Next, we are going to be entering into the Sankalpa, the creation of the conscious resolution, your conscious intention. What do you want to manifest as you do Nithyananda Yoga today? Creating that, manifesting that in your life. For the Sankalpa, hold a strong intention to manifest health, to manifest a strong body, strong limbs, a yogic body, but also hold that space to manifest powers of Paramashiva. Create the intention to become divine because that is the real purpose of Nithyananda Yoga. So now let us do the Sankalpa. Place your right hand over your left in the Sankalpa Mudra and place both hands on the top of your right thigh with your back straight, connecting to Swamiji in your inner space, creating your conscious intention as we chant the Sankalpa mantra.
ॐ ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा भगवत् नित्यानन्द परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम् श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम् च शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते अद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीयपरार्धे श्रीश्वेतवराहकल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे नित्ययुगे प्रथमे पादे जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भरतखण्डे मेरोः दक्षिणे पार्श्वे शकाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादीनां षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये विश्वावसु नाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने श्रीलक्ष्मी वेंकटेश्वर ऋतौ शुभमासे शुभपक्षे शुभतिथौ शुभवासरयुक्ताय शुभनक्षत्र शुभयोग शुभकर्ण एवं गुणविशेषण विशिष्टाय अस्यां शुभतिथौ श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीना श्रीसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्र कुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रया रगीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचन्द्रकालादि समस्त वल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा ज्ञापवर्गवर्ष विश्रामजीवूत पर्वत कलभके सिद्धांत स्थापन श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपणशात्यादि महार्थकानु वीक्षण निर्वाहध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीवृषभध्वजस्थापक शैव समयकर्तृ सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिना अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततमगुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततमगुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततमगुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरचित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्द पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनैक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी वन्दित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्तचूडामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत अभिनवः महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र स्वर्णपीठ त्रयोंशगुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरु श्रीकैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्रीकैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानन्द प्रणवस्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्री भगवन् श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिव श्री ज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनः प्रीत्यर्थम् तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्तिसिद्ध्यर्थम् गुरुकृपाकटाक्षसिद्ध्यर्थम् क्षेमस्थैर्यवीर्यविजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् धर्मार्थकाममोक्षचतुर्विधफलपुरुषार्थसिद्ध्यर्थम् मम समस्तद्वैतोपनिषदार्थम् समस्तमङ्गलप्राप्त्यर्थम् भगवच्छ्री नित्यानन्द परमशिवप्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञानवैराग्य जीवन्मुक्तिप्राप्त्यर्थम् पूर्ण आरोग्ययुक्त दृढगात्र योगशरीरसिद्ध्यर्थम् परमशिवशक्त्याविष्करणार्थम् नित्यानन्द योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये. Now wash your hand with some water from your Panchmantra. Om Apaupastrishya. And place your Panchmantra Milagharini far away from you so as to not disturb you as we get into Nithyananda Yoga today. Starting with our warm-up stretches, stretch your legs out in front of you and start to rotate your ankles in a nice circular motion, giving yourself a nice stretch here. Loosening up the joints of your ankles by deeply rotating them. And switching to the opposite side, rotating your ankles in the opposite direction. Now, pointing your toes forward as low as you can and up high as you can, flexing them back. Pointing your toes nicely and flexing them back.
Point your toes and flex them back. Perfect. With that, let's enter into the exercise for our knees. Come to a standing position with your hands on your knees and start to rotate your knees in a nice circular motion. Giving yourself a good stretch here. Bring your knees into a deep circular motion. And in the opposite direction, feel your joints loosening up as you do it. Bring your hands to your hips, coming to a standing position as we move into our next warm-up, which is rotating your hips nice and wide, opening up your hips, your hamstrings, your back, all of it. Push yourself here. And let's move it in the opposite direction. Pushing your hips around in the opposite direction. Giving yourself a nice stretch. So with that, we're going to be entering into the skeleton dance.
The skeleton dance, as Swami has read, is one of the most powerful techniques and one of the most powerful visualizations, exercises to awaken the integrity in our body. When you do the skeleton dance, you see in your body, the skeletal structure, the skeletal system in your body is what gives shape, the integrity to your body. Without the skeletal system, your body is nothing. There's no integrity in it. So when integrity, when you visualize yourself really as bones, as the skeletal system, and do the skeleton dance, you are awakening the integrity of Nithyananda Yoga, the integrity in Nithyananda Yoga. So it's very important, this is a very important component of Nithyananda Yoga. And if you want to really experience true integrity in your life, the ultimate integrity, make sure you join us in this skeleton dance. In a skeleton dance, you're going to first stretch your hands out in your legs nicely, and you're going to visualize your full body made out of bones. With that strong visualization, your whole body is made out of bones. And then slowly start to shape your body one by one, each part of your body one by one. Nicely shaping your body, opening it out nicely, and entering into the skeleton dance.
शिव का कमाल आत्मा गाए वो अनमोल गीत गुरु के चरणों में सब संजीवनी नित्यानंदा अवतार शिवा पुराणों की अद्भुत कथा मंत्रों की गूंज दिल की प्रीत गुरु के चरणों में है सब जीत हद की धुन, पवित्र वो यात्रा जहाँ मिलते गुण। नित्यानंदा अवतार शिवा, पुराणों की अद्भुत कथा, मंत्रों की गूंज देती प्रीत, गुरु के चरणों में है सब जीत। सपनों के रंगों में सजी ये रात, चमके सितारे बजते चलते रंग साथ, गहरी भक्ति में डूबे हम सभी, शिव की कृपा से मिले हमें खुशी। नित्यानंदा अवतार शिवा, पुराणों की अद्भुत कथा, मंत्रों की गूंज देती प्रीत, गुरु के चरणों में है सब जीत। नृत्य में खो जाओ स्वप्नों की चाल, धड़कने बोले ये शिव का कमाल।
Slowly relax. Dropping back and forth in your mat. Loosening your body. Relaxing from the intense skeleton dance. And slowly with that, come back to a sitting position on your mat. Or a kneeling position.
Getting into the next warm up, where we're going to be warming up our torso and our chest, our shoulders as well, moving from side to side, nicely pushing yourself. Trying to get a deep stretch in your torso, in your chest, and in your shoulders, opening up nicely, move from side to side. Opening up your shoulders, hip, everything nicely. Next, your hands, bringing your hands to a nice circular motion, opening up the shoulder joint as much as you can, in the opposite direction. Give 3 rotations to each side. Switching hands, rotate your shoulder, opening it up nicely. Find all your joints loosened after that beautiful skeleton dance, and in the opposite direction. Perfect. Next, let's enter into the neck rotations. So start to rotate your neck deeply in a deep circular motion, allowing your neck to loosen up all the directions. Perfect. So with that, now let's enter into our first asana for today, which is Hekasana. So in Hekasana, the way we're going to be doing it is first we'll be showing you how to do it, coming to a lined up position on your stomach, and pushing your feet to the side of your hips towards the ground. So this is how we do Hekasana initially to start off. Now, let's see the different preparatory asanas that will help us mastering Hekasana. The first step what we're going to be doing is coming into Garudasana 4. So in Garudasana 4, you get an idea of how the legs need to come out of the hips. So you can keep your feet pointed backwards beside your hips.
And as you can see here, the legs are coming outside your hips. From here, you're going to try to push your feet as far away from your hips as you can and sit with your back straight. So immediately this will start to open up the hips in the exact area that you need to be able to do Bhagavan. So the first step. Hold it here for the chant of 5 Mahavakya to start off. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Now in the same position without it coming out, lean forward and down between your knees, bringing your torso between your knees. So what this will do is, again, it will open up your hips even more. When you're doing this, remember to try to push the back of your hips towards the ground as well. Since your initial tendency will be to lift it off the ground, will be kind of in the air. So push it consciously towards the ground, giving yourself a flat stretch, keeping your feet as outside of your hips as you can. Again, holding here for the chant of 5 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And slowly relax now, coming back up. Now bringing your feet in front of your hip. What you're going to do is you're going to rest one leg in front of your perineum. Let's say first your left leg. Stay in front of your perineum. Bring your right leg from outside your hip and try to pull it in front. So this will again give you the same stretch, because for Bhakasana, mainly it will be your knees that will stretch and a bit of your ankles. This asana will really stretch out your knees and ankles to help you do Bhakasana. So pulling your leg as close to your torso in front as possible. Try to keep your torso straight. So try not to lean too much to one side as much as possible. Try to keep your back straight and then bringing your foot in front of your stomach, in front of your navel center. Keep pushing yourself here. So one important thing that you should know, when you start to bring your leg in front, if you find it difficult at one point, don't stop there. Pause for a few seconds, breathe deeply, hold it there, and then do not remove it. Try to push it an inch deeper. So the way these asanas happen in Nithyananda Yoga is by every day doing what you can and then pushing it an inch more. Then the next day you come back and do it even an inch more. So it's about from where you are taking it forward, not about just coming to that same position every single day. So push your leg forward at least a little bit more than how much you're able to do comfortably. Pushing it forward, deeper and deeper. Let's chant the Mahavakya 5 times. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And slowly relax. Take a moment to loosen out your ankles, stretch your legs forward. And let's do this on our left leg as well now. So bring your right leg in front of your perineum with your left leg coming outside your hip. Use the force of your hand to push the foot in front of your hip. Pushing it deeper and deeper. Getting the stretch mainly in your knees. Try to focus on your knees as you do this because that is where you'll be mainly getting the stretch in addition to the ankle. Keep pushing your leg forward and let's chant the Mahavakya 3 times over here. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. And slowly relax. Perfect. Now entering into the next step, where you're going to be working on both legs simultaneously now. Come into a kneeling position in Vajrasana with your legs outside your hips. And from here you're going to be leaning backward into Jatyasana. So what this will do is it will literally give you the same stretch as Bhekasana but in the opposite direction. In Bhekasana your legs come to the ground. In this your back is going to be coming to the ground. But make sure your feet are outside your hips. In this asana, ensure that your feet are outside your hips. And with that, push your hips towards the ground. So that's how you're going to be doing this. Getting a deep stretch for your knees and thighs. Let's hold here for the chant of 5 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Slowly relax now. Coming back up to a seated position. That was Bhekasana. For all those of you who are doing yoga along with us, I request each of you put your comments in the comment section and the live chat section. Which asana did you find the most helpful out of all of these when it comes to doing Bhekasana? Which exercise did you feel the most useful? Do post it in the comment section below so that we can continue to help you work deeper in your yoga journey. Let's now do Bhekasana one by one. Now coming onto your stomach, in Bhekasana you will actually be bringing both your legs towards the ground beside your hips. But first initial start off, you'll be working with one leg alone. So bring your hand to one leg and slowly start pushing it down. Pushing your leg lower and lower beside your hip. Trying to bring your leg towards the ground as much as you can. Pushing your leg deeper and deeper beside your hip. Until you're bringing it completely to the ground. Now, one important thing to remember, once you have brought your leg to the ground, you will find that this hip tends to rise up. But you have to push it towards the ground. Your hip has to be on the ground and this leg has to be pushed. And again, remember, this leg should try to not be too far away from your hip but as close to your hip as possible, resting on the ground. Okay? Hold it here now for the chant of 3 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Slowly relax this leg now. And switch the legs to the opposite side. Again, remember, pulling it towards the ground, side of your hip. Pulling it lower and lower. See, it will take some time if you start off. Initially, you'll find that your leg is not even coming more than halfway through. Then you have to slowly, inch by inch, pull it closer and closer towards the ground. Pulling it down, remember, do not lift the other hip high up off the ground. Try to push both your hips towards the ground, as well as bringing the leg as close to your torso as possible, not too far there, not too far away as well. Pushing your leg closer and closer towards the ground. Hold here for the chant of 3 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Slowly relax now. Coming back up to a seated position. Take a few seconds to loosen up your ankles. Moving them from side to side. What you can also do is you can flex your ankles backwards. So you can either take support of a wall or some other person to help you push your toes backwards. So that will really help you to get a counter stretch from the Ekasana, pushing your toes as back as you can. You can also push your legs against a wall and do this. From here, let's do Bhekasana on both the sides. So coming onto your stomach, bring your legs beside your hips. This time pulling both your legs towards the ground. So this time you're not going to just be pulling one leg, but it's going to take you to a deeper, much deeper stretch. Bring your hands to your legs and push both your legs towards the ground deeply and intensely. Do this for a few minutes now, going inch by inch, as deep into this position as you can. So initially what you can do is first just bring it towards your back. First you just bring your feet towards your back. Try to hold it here now. First for 5 seconds. For the chant of 5 Mahavakyas. Just pulling it towards your hip. Pull it intensely with your hand. Do not leave your hand relaxed. Try to pull it more intensely with your hand towards your back. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. and slowly relax. Now for a second, let's look at all the components of Bhekasana. In Bhekasana, you will be visualizing yourself as a frog. Beautifully, the different asanas of Nithyananda Yoga are designed to awaken a power within your body. So when you visualize, do those conscious visualizations of the different types of animals, the devatas, gods, goddesses, each of their power, the powers that they manifested, each of those will come and manifest through you as well. Here, we're going to be visualizing ourselves as a frog doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka, which is inhaling through all the limbs of your body only using your mind. So as you inhale, consciously feel yourself pushing the energy through your entire body. Remember to engage the Mula Bandha, clenching your perineum. With a japa of Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Even though your eyes are open, keep your awareness turned inwards in the Shambhavi Mudra, and let us get into Bhekasana. So as you can see all the components on the screen. So make sure you follow them along step by step as you're doing Nithyananda Yoga, as you're doing Bhekasana. So coming onto your stomach now, push both your feet towards the ground by the side of your hips. Hold it for a few seconds there. Bhekasana chaiva makaram matsya namakam Matsyendram dvidham chatra kundali bodha karanam. And then slowly release. Relax and release yourself back up to a seated position.
The next asana we are going to be doing is Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana. Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana is another very unique and fun asana as part of Nithyananda Yoga. Over here, we are going to be getting a deep stretch to our thighs, mainly focusing on our thigh muscles. So we'll once show you how Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana is done, and then we'll enter into those opening preparatory exercises for us to do it. So in Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana, you're going to come to a lying down position on your back, catching your legs, stretching them out and catching your legs with your hands, your toes up with your hands. Over here, you're going to stretch them out open as close to the ground as you can come. So this is how Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana is done. Let us now enter into some preparatory exercises. The first exercise we're going to be doing is Bhadrasana. Bhadrasana is a very beautiful asana from the Nithyananda Yoga, which helps us open out our thighs, giving a deep stretch to our thighs. So we'll do a few variations of Bhadrasana as we move into Bhadrasana. The first step now is to bring your feet together. Bring your feet together in front of your perineum, as close to the perineum as you can for starting off. So when you start off, you'll see that your feet are a bit further away from your perineum if you're doing this for the first time. No problem at all. Your knees too might be raised up. That's completely fine. These two are going to be the first steps, which is to loosen out your knees by bending them continuously up and down, doing a butterfly pose. And the second step is to pull your legs a little more closer. So each time we tell you, you're going to pull your legs more closer to your perineum, and then again try to bring your knees to the ground. So over here now, start off from wherever you are and flap your knees up and down, flap your legs up and down. Make sure you're consciously stretching your muscles, bringing the awareness and stretching your muscles. Very good. You can also use the support of your hands to push your knees to the ground. Over here. Nicely push your knees to the ground. Very good. You can slowly bring your feet a little more closer to your perineum now. If you have stretched out. Giving that good opening to your legs. Very good. Now bring your feet even more closer to your perineum. Try to bring it as close as you can to your perineum. Stretching out your feet. And let's hold over here. See, push yourself as much as you can. As close as you can to the perineum. As close as you can to the perineum. Pressing your knees to the ground. So do this in the widest stretch you can give to your body. How much ever you're able to push your body, push it that much. Giving that ultimate stretch. Be careful as you do it. And let us now hold in this position for the count of 5 Mahavakyas, giving that deep stretch in Bhadrasana. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Slowly relax. You can bring your feet out. Now, the next step we are going to be entering into Bhadrasana is again bring back your feet as deep as possible towards your perineum. Now, with that, we want to give a little bit of a deeper stretch. So, see how much you're able to do of this asana, and based on that, move forward. So, over here, you're going to be bending downwards, pressing your hips out and bending downwards. Make sure your hands are completely stretched out in front of you as you do this asana. Bending forward. Now see, if you might be bending forward and then you might see your legs raise up a bit. That's completely fine. You can release your legs a bit further away from your perineum also and do it. That's completely fine. So you're going to be bending forward and holding over there. Getting a good stretch. See, now when you bend forward, that whole stretch deepens. It almost doubles. So make sure you're giving that stretch consciously to your body as you bend forward. And let's hold over here for another count of 5 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Slowly relax, coming back up. Now the last step we're going to be entering into Bhadrasana is with a yoga block. So you can get a yoga block or any other hard object which will be strong enough. Try to place it in between both your feet. So you can create a gap in between both your feet and place the yoga block and catch it with your legs. Now, once you've got the yoga block, you're going to see your legs are now stretching out more. If you see Supta Prasarita Padamushtasana, your legs are stretched out completely. So you need to bring that thigh flexibility for you to be able to stretch it out that much. For that, doing this version of Bhadrasana stretches it out a lot. So, placing that yoga block in between your legs, nicely try to bring your legs as close as possible towards your perineum, pressing your knees to the ground, giving that good stretch to your body, and hold over here for another count of 5 Mahavakyas as we hold in this position of Bhadrasana. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. So relax now. You can remove the yoga block. Stretch your legs out, just giving a small, deep, nice loosening out to your legs. Stretch them out and shake them up and down, side to side. The next stretch we are going to be getting for Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You're going to be stretching your legs out into a similar position of Prasaritasana and then entering into Upavishtakonasana. So stretch your legs out as much as you can. You do not need to push yourself to try to do it completely into a split position. You just need to push it as much as you can. So push your legs out as much as you can on the sides and catch your toes with your hands. So your respective hands are going to be catching your respective toes. Now over here, give that stretch first over here in Prasaritasana to your body. Holding in Prasaritasana, sitting straight, just bringing your hands to your toes. So hold in Prasaritasana for the count of 5 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. So relax, coming down from that position. Now, from Prasaritasana, we are going to be entering into Upavishtakonasana. So the difference between this now, catch both your toes with your hands. You're going to be flapping your legs on the ground. So flapping your legs and bending forward simultaneously. So if you see here, your leg is first facing up. You're going to be flapping it down and bending down. Entering into Upavishtakonasana. So when you flap it down and you enter down, you're going to be coming to a very similar position of Supreme but on the opposite direction. So means on the opposite side. You're going to be sitting up and then you're going to be lying down and doing it. So when you're able to do this, this will give you a very good stretch to be able to do Supreme. Now as you do this, you can hold it as much as you can go down. It's completely fine. Catch your toes, flap your feet down, and as much as you can go down, try to go down, bringing your forehead to the ground as much as possible. You can see how it's done. Very deep stretch, giving a very deep stretch to your body. Once you've given that deep stretch, try to hold it over there for some time and then release. So you can do it in sets. Go down, hold it, and then release. If it's too much. Do it as strong and as much as you can, giving that strength to your body, manifesting Paramashiva's body in your body. Very good. Slowly relax. Great. So the next asana we're going to be doing now is keeping one leg stretched out in Mahamudrasana, the other leg to your perineum. This is a very unique asana, a very nice asana that gives a nice opening to your hamstrings and thigh muscles. So this is also a very key and vital asana to mastering Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana. So I request all of you to please make sure you're doing this asana. Stretch your right leg out and your left leg to your perineum for starting off. Bend forward, catching your toes and kinkini and bending a little bit as close as you can towards the ground. Bending your forehead as close as you can towards the ground. Catching your toes with your hands, bending forward, bringing your forehead as close as you can towards your knees. Bend forward, bend more forward and down. See, try to also bring your elbows to the ground, this asana. Bring your elbows to the ground as you're bending forward. It's very important. Hold over there for the count of 5 Mahavakyas now, bending in Mahamudrasana. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Very good. And you can slowly relax. That gave us a good stretch. Now we are going to be repeating this on the left side. So you can bring your right leg to your perineum and your left leg stretched out. And this time you're going to be repeating this stretch on your left leg. Try to bring your forehead to the ground, the forehead to your knees, with your hands catching your toes or your ankles. So based on what is comfortable, you can catch your toes or your ankles and bend forward and down. Bending more and more down. Very good. And hold over here for the count of another 5 Mahavakyas as deep as you can. Trying to bring your shoulders to the ground. Do not forget trying to bring your shoulders to the ground as you do this asana. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 And slowly relax. So that gave us a very good stretch in Mahamudrasana, preparing our bodies for Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana. And now let us enter into doing Supta Prasarita Padangusthasana step by step. So the first step you need to master is coming and lying down on your back. You're going to first bring your legs into Chakrasana 3. So the step for entering into Chakrasana 3 the steps for entering into Chakrasana 3 is to first stretch your legs towards the sky. So move your legs up, keeping it into a 90-degree angle, bringing your body into a 90-degree angle first. Once you've come to this position, you're going to stretch your hands out to catching your toes. So if you see in this position, your knees have to be straight. That's a very important part of this asana of Chakrasana 3. Your knees have to be straight. Now, if you're able to catch your hands, that's great. If you're unable to catch your hands yet, try to pull your hands starting from your shins, placing your hands on the shins, slowly walking your hands up as much as you're able to, at least trying to bring it to your ankles. You minimum at least need to bring it to your ankles. Pull yourself, it's completely fine. Walk your hands up your legs. Try to bring it at least to your ankles. Otherwise, if you're able to do it to your toes, that's great. You've entered into the first step. Because it's very important that you catch your toes to be able to do Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana. Just catching your ankles or the other parts of your leg will not suffice for doing Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana. So, you can do that. Now, if you're unable to at all, if tried completely, you're unable to at all catch your legs, bend your knees a little bit at least and catch your toes. Because it's very important you catch your toes. So, doing that also is completely fine. Best will be straight. Now, once you have done this, you're going to slowly open your legs out, trying to bring them towards the ground. So sideways, you're opening your legs to your hands. You can see this also from a side angle, from a front angle, how this asana is done. So you're bringing your legs on both the sides and you're trying to bring it towards the ground. This is how Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana is done. Over here, you can bounce a little bit, trying to open it out. You can always do the fine tuning. See, every day we do, if you see, we have done so many asanas that we repeat every day. You need to do that fine tuning to those asanas. That's a very important part of Nithyananda Yoga. When you're doing the fine tuning, every day you're pushing it a little bit more. Every day pushing a little bit more. That gives the fine tuning and the easiness in the asana. Each asana bringing your comfortableness, that easiness in that asana, just being able to do it. So with that, now we'll enter into seeing the various components of Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana. In Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana, you're going to be visualizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Visualizing yourself as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, performing the Ujjayi Pranayama. We'll be demonstrating the Ujjayi Pranayama to you. First, inhale deeply. Then, while exhaling, you're going to be constricting your throat a bit and exhaling. So, what this does, this gives the sound of like an ocean. You see, the ocean is over here. So, when you do this pranayama, inhale and exhale, constricting your throat, you will see that the sound of an ocean comes out. That is when you know that you're doing the pranayama correctly. So make sure you're doing this pranayama properly as you do Kakachan, as you're doing Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana. You're doing the Mula Bandha in this asana, which is sealing your perineal floor. Performing the Prana Mudra, which is catching your toes with your middle and index fingers and chanting the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana. So now we are going to enter into doing Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana together. Come and lie down on your back. Stretch your legs out, opening them as much as possible. उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च वीरभद्रं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गप्रसादम्. Slowly relax, coming back to a seating position.
Entering into our next asana for the day. We're going to be, in this asana, we're going to be getting a hand exercise, strengthening our arms by doing Malasana. So first, let's see how to do Malasana. In Malasana, you will be raising up with your hands on up, with your legs above your shoulders, raising up onto your arms and balancing over there high above the ground in Malasana. So let's see now step by step how you can master this asana too. So this asana requires a few levels of strength. One is the hip opening, of course, that comes with the flexibility part. And wrist strength, arm strength, and your shoulder strength. These are all very, very important components of Malasana. So let's focus on the hip opening, which is actually the easiest part of this first. Come to a squatting position on the ground and bring your elbows within your knees. Keep your feet flat on the ground. So make sure the heels of your feet are completely flat on the ground and bring your palms inside your knees, pushing them out as wide as possible. So push your knees out wide with your elbows, bringing your palms together in front of your heart center, holding here for the chant of 5 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 And slowly relax. That is for the hip opening part. Now coming to the arm strengthening, let's do a few different exercises. First, to hold our core and arm. Come into a Tarakshasana position. And you're going to first be holding in Tarakshasana with your body straight above your arms. And we're going to be holding it for 3 rounds of 10 seconds each. Now, coming with so let's see how to do this properly. What you're going to do is, you're going to bring your arm in exactly a straight line. So bring your shoulders above your arms. Try to bring your hands a little bit closer to each other such that they are straight under your shoulders. And then you're going to be straightening out your legs into a straight position, keeping your entire body in a perfect plane, a perfect straight line. Okay? So now you're going to be holding this for 10 counts. Let's start. Ekam, dve, त्रीणि, चत्वारि, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव, दश. Take a short break before getting back into the position, holding it for another 10 counts. Ekam, dve, त्रीणि, चत्वारि, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव, dasha. Relax for a few seconds again. Now for this last set, we're going to be holding it for 30 counts. For 30 seconds, holding it in the last step. Straighten your legs and hold it there. Ekam, dve, त्रीणि, चत्वारि, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव, दश, एकादश, द्वादश, त्रयोदश, चतुर्दश, पञ्चदश, षोडश, सप्तदश, अष्टादश, नवदश, विंशतिः. And relax. Take a few seconds to relax your arms. And let's now move on to a shoulder exercise. So for your shoulders, you're going to be coming into Unmukha Pithasana. Placing your forearms on the ground, toes on the ground, and lifting your hips up high in the air. So you're going to be catching your hands together. You're going to be putting your forearms on the ground with your palms apart and pushing your hips up high in the air. Holding here again for the chant of 7 Mahavakyas. Try to walk your feet as close to your hips as possible, giving the full weight onto your shoulders. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Slowly relax now. Take a few seconds to stretch out your arms nicely, rotating your shoulders, getting a loosening as we just worked out our arms. Now let's work on strengthening our wrists. So first you can stretch your hands out in front of you. Stretch your arms out in front of you and nicely rotating your wrists. So do 10 rotations on each side, giving yourself a nice wrist rotation. Stretch your arms out straight in front of you. Rotating your wrists first in one direction, outward, and then inward for 10 rotations. Pulling your hand back, giving your wrist a nice stretch. Pull your hand backwards and downward. Giving yourself a nice stretch on both hands. This will help you to loosen up the wrists, since you will be really working out your wrists in Malasana. Bring your hands together, pushing them together. So you're going to be bringing your hands together in front of your heart center in the regular Namaskara Mudra, and push your hands as close to each other as possible. So you'll be bringing your hands slightly lower and bringing your wrists together. So it'll give you a very good stretch for your wrists. One more thing you can do is bringing your hands behind your back in the Namaskara Mudra. So try to bring both your hands behind your back in the Namaskara Mudra. When you do this, you'll get a very, very deep and powerful wrist stretch as well. Bringing your hands together. Now hold this for the chant of 3 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And slowly relax. Okay, now let's work on the start part of Malasana itself, which is bringing your legs over your shoulders. So you're going to now first try to bring your legs as high above your shoulders as you can. So not lifting off the ground, but just bringing your shoulders as high as you can, bringing your legs above your shoulders as high as you can. So you might find that initially you'll only be able to bring it up to your elbow like that. But try to start off by pulling it as high above your shoulders. You can start off with one leg, trying to bring it way above your shoulder, not on your wrist or elbow, but on top of the shoulder area itself. Pulling it up as high as you can. Hold here now. Once you're up as high as you can, hold it for the chant of 3 Mahavakyas. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Slowly relax. Repeating this on the other leg, bringing your right leg above your shoulder up as high as you can again. Holding it there for the chant of 3 Mahavakyas to get that comfort in that position so that you can easily do Malasana. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And slowly relax. Take a few deep breaths. Now let's try to do Malasana itself together. Bring both your legs above your shoulder. Bring both your legs on top of your shoulders. And now the way you're going to be doing it is this is going to be very, you need to listen carefully. Your hands weight. You're going to be from the heel of your palm, you're going to be shifting the weight to the fingers of your palm and pushing off the ground. So that's how you will be doing it. Feel the weight on the heel and on the fingers, pushing yourself forward, lifting your hips up high off the ground. The key is to shift your weight forward and push. So consciously feel it from the heel of your hand. Push your heel of the hand onto the ground, moving yourself forward and lifting up off the ground. Do this. Now try doing this a few times, trying to lift your hips up high off the ground. Keep doing this, trying to get the balance. In this asana, let's look at all the 12 components of Malasana right now. In Malasana, you're going to be visualizing yourself as a garland for Swamiji. Visualize yourself, your legs as a garland around you. Doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka, which is simple, breathing in deep and breathing out deep. Clenching your perineum in the Mula Bandha with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra. Although your eyes are open, keep your gaze turned inwards. And entering into Malasana. Bring your legs over your shoulders. And rock yourself forward, lifting yourself high up off the ground. Balancing there. हस्ताभ्याम् अनिवष्टभ्य स्कन्धयो जानुयि संस्थाप्य पार्ष्णिम् उरसि निधाय तिष्ठत् मालासनं भवति. And slowly relax. So take a moment to rotate your wrists and loosen out your ankles. Taking a few seconds to loosen your shoulders, your ankles, your neck. As we enter into the Trinetra Kumbhaka, the powerful pranayama revealed by Swamiji to directly awaken your third eye and manifest the ultimate energy through you.
We're now going to be doing that. The Trinetra Kumbhaka is done by a set of 7 steps. Now, Swamiji has revealed this Trinetra Kumbhaka is done to awaken your third eye. So when you do this Trinetra Kumbhaka, you will simply see that your third eye awakens immediately. It's a very powerful Kumbhaka. So listen carefully to these 7 steps. We have been doing it every day. So you might have gotten an idea of it. If you are new, you can please listen to the 7 steps. If you already know, you can start up doing these 7 steps now. So the first step is to inhale. You're going to be using your thumbs for doing the pranayama. The first step is to inhale through your left nostril. Hold the breath as long as you can. Then inhale through the right nostril. Hold the breath as long as you can. Then inhale through both your nostrils, holding as long as you can. And then exhale through your left nostril again. So this is how the Trinetra Kumbhaka is done. You need to do this continuously without giving a gap. Continuing to the next one. This is the key component of Trinetra Kumbhaka is not to leave it. It's very important that you do it as a continuous cycle. So the Trinetra Kumbhaka now you're going to be doing. If you have an Atmalinga, make sure you're holding your Atmalinga in your hand while you're doing the Trinetra Kumbhaka, and that's how Swamiji has revealed we should do this Kumbhaka. And with that, let us now enter into doing this Trinetra Kumbhaka.
Remember that Swamiji says when you do it, the main goal is not to hold your breath with your hands, but the main goal is to hold the breath with your will. Because this is a beautiful Kumbhaka to awaken your third eye, which is the Agnya Chakra, the seat of your willpower. So with your will, you should hold your breath. And when Swamiji says hold it as long as you can, till the point you're comfortable, without getting lightheaded or dizzy, but just till the point you're able to hold it. Hold it till that point, and then only go to the next. So let's now do this. Now when you're inhaling, holding, and inhaling again through the right, you will not have any exhalation. But you might find automatically your body releases some air to balance itself. That is completely alright. So inhale through the left, deeply. Hold your breath as long as you can. Without exhaling, inhale through your right. Again, holding your breath for as long as you can. Without an exhalation, inhale with both the nostrils. Again, hold as long as you can. And then exhale through your left nostril. Let's continuously do this now. Swamiji says initially, start off by doing it 11 times continuously. And the more and more you get into the advanced levels of it, do it 21 times, 42 times, 54 times, and ultimately doing it 108 times continuously, holding the kumbhaka without releasing it through the nostrils. Inhale through the left, exhaling through the left, and immediately starting the next set. Continue to do it powerfully. Continue to do the kumbhaka intensely without giving any break. Continue to do it intensely without giving a break. Just a few more times, awakening that intense Kundalini within you. Inhaling through the left, holding for as long as you can. Inhaling through the right, again holding as long as you can. Inhaling through both nostrils and again holding for as long as you can. And exhaling through the left side. One last time, let's do the full round. Slowly relax now, taking a few deep breaths. And come to a laying down position in Shavasana. Keep your legs extended out straight, palms by your side. Visualizing the life in your body reaching, merging with Paramashiva. You are only resting in Samadhi. No movement in your body. Feel the Shakti Chalan Mudra, the Kundalini energy pumping throughout every inch, every vein, every part of your body. Relax the tension from your legs, your back, your neck, your shoulders. Be completely relaxed. Chanting the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivam in your inner space in Shavasana. Slowly shake your hands and legs. Then rock yourself up into a seated position. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You have successfully completed today's Nithyananda Yoga. If you enjoyed it and you want to learn more about this deeper science of yoga, check out the link in the description below to a webinar exploring deep into why the 12 components of yoga and why you need to do Nithyananda Yoga, how it's different from every other type of exercise. Also, do not miss out on the Paramashiva Sena program, which is starting 1st of December. We will be projecting the link at the end of the session. You can see the link over here, ecitizen.info/PSS. Do not miss out the Paramashiva Sena program. It's an amazing opportunity. Swamiji is opening up free 30-day program to experience yourself as Paramashiva in every aspect of your life. With that, let us offer our gratitude at Swamiji's feet for giving us this amazing opportunity to do yoga today and end with a Purna mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavan Om Nityanam everyone. Thank you and see you tomorrow.